Oh, what's up, man?
Not much. Hey, Jeremiah, how you doing?
I'm just chilling.
So I was thinking for like our YouTube episode, maybe doing something on myths.
No way. Okay, I've been doing so much myth research. What about like the Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster or Chupacabras?
No, something more along the lines of.
Okay, like what if the moon landing was fake? This would be a great video. Or what about aliens being real? Aliens coming to Earth?
Not that kind of myth.
Okay, this is the last one. This was really deep. So maybe they made the movie Frozen to cover up the fact that when we searched Walt Disney and Frozen, he was actually cryogenically frozen, so they could bring back later.
I'm going to stop you there. So what I was thinking is something a little more relevant or user-friendly for our audience. What about fat loss myths?
Okay, I guess.
All right, let's do it. Hi, I'm Dr. Ben Quist.
And I'm fitness expert Jeremiah Krueger.
And today we're going to talk to you guys about the prevailing myths in the world of fat loss. Are they true
Or are they false? But first, I'm going to give you a pop quiz. Where does fat go when we lose it? Stick around to the end if you want to know the answer.
Fat loss myth number 1. Are all calories created equal regarding fat loss? And this is one that I have heard many, many times. All calories are created equal. They affect the body equally regarding losing fat, losing weight. Is that true or is that false? And if you guys get this wrong, 25 squats immediately. All right, that one's false, and let me explain. So different types of foods affect the body very differently. For example, if you were to eat 100 calories of table sugar and 100 calories of almonds, those different food types would affect your body very differently. And part of the reason for that is the sugars, or a lot of the more easily digestible foods, get into your bloodstream very quickly and elevate blood sugars, which can lead to bad things happening, like retaining weight, gaining fat, things of that nature. Where a lot of your more fibrous foods like almonds or some of the vegetables and things of that nature, typically the body has to do a lot of breakdown work on those foods, so you are not going to be absorbing all those calories in the same way you would from a highly processed food. And that's why those unprocessed, fibrous, non-starchy types of carbohydrate foods are typically a lot better for fat loss or weight loss. I want to leave you with this. It is not about how many calories you intake, it's about how many calories your body actually digests. On to fat loss myth number 2.
All right, so here's fat loss myth number 2. You can actually do less cardio and burn more fat. What do you think? Again, if you get this wrong, it's 25 more squats. So the answer is actually true, and here's why. I'm gonna break up this concept with 2 different ways we do cardio. We have your steady state and we have HIIT. Steady state cardio, I would define more as low intensity exercises, zone 1, zone 2. You might be walking on a treadmill and able to easily hold a conversation with your neighbor as you guys walk. Typically when we do zone 2 cardio, anywhere from 10 to up to 90 minutes can be pretty effective for you. 90 minutes is pretty time consuming though. Over here we have HIIT, which is high intensity interval training. This we could do a lot less and get a whole lot more. Here's why. HIIT is all about raising the intensity level and then lowering the intensity level. The general understanding that people do is more variable intensity interval training where you define a time to go for. I'm going to ask you to think of this differently. I want you to aim for intensity. So your goal is to get your heart rate up to an 85% of your maximum or more for as long as you can. Typically, if you're very fit, you might make it up to 20 seconds. So don't define yourself by the 20 seconds, define it by the intensity. 85% of heart rate max or more, and then let yourself recover for like 5 minutes. The way you might do this is you're on a treadmill and you're walking for about 5 minutes to warm up. Then you've got a 20-second all-out maximum as fast as you possibly can sprint, and then I'm gonna cool down for about 5 minutes. Now I realize not everybody can do sprinting, so there's 2 different ways you can change this up. One, maybe you just raise the incline and the speed a little bit and you're power walking up an incline. I guarantee you do that for a bit, you can get that heart rate spiked way, way up. Another option, if you like the speed component, you might try one of those air bikes or just a standard cycle and you pedal as fast as you possibly can for that short duration, for as long as you can, then you hop off the bike and you walk around and cool down for another 5 minutes before doing it again. I would say at a good workout, you might do 3 to 4 rounds of those all-out maximum effort sprints or cycle runs. So the main reason that HIIT is better than steady state is because of EPOC, which is post-exercise oxygen consumption. This is essentially you burning more calories after your workout than you could after you did steady state. So the second reason that HIIT is really good for you is the cortisol response is a lot less than it is for steady state, and it's really good for your body to not have a lot of cortisol floating around in it, especially if you want to have good fat loss results.
Fat loss myth number 3. Ketogenic diets are the best way to lose fat and control weight long term. Is that true or is that false? Audience, what do you think? This time I'm bumping it up a little bit. It's 100 squats if you get this wrong. Okay, I know that there's a lot of emotion surrounding ketogenic diets. A lot of people have very strong beliefs that these diets have helped them. There is certainly a place for these diets, and also I want to be very clear that there are many different types of ketogenic diets. There's many different ways you can implement that strategy. One other point I want to make is that everybody is an individual, and for what I'm about to say, this is just my personal belief from what I've seen in the research as far as what might be the best first step as far as a dietary approach if someone is looking to lose weight, lose fat, and maintain that for a long period of time. So I'm going to go with the research from the American Dietetics Association, which is the largest body of nutrition professionals in the world. According to them, the thing that correlates best with individuals that have lost a lot of weight and then maintained it for a long period of time when we're looking at diet is those individuals that eat a high consumption of non-starchy vegetables. Okay, so those would be your really fibrous, little bit lower carbohydrate vegetables. And again, vegetables are carbohydrates. I think a lot of people think that vegetables are like this different thing that aren't in the carbohydrate family. So when everyone is dinging carbohydrates constantly, saying that they're not good for you or watch your carbs, some of the most healthy things on earth for a human being to eat that are absolutely essential are our fibrous carbohydrates. So the reason that these diets that I'm talking about, the ones that are higher in fiber, that are higher in these non-starchy vegetables, fruits, grains, things of that nature, work really well for long-term weight loss and fat loss is because twofold really. Number one, these types of foods are a lot less calorie dense. So you can eat a high volume of food but not get that many calories. And the reason for that is that they are high in water content and they're also high in fiber. And I want to insert something else here. I really believe that that fiber in that food affects your gut microbiome in such a way that that also impacts your health, your fat loss, and your weight loss over time. And I think there's more to that than we even know, and that science will be kind of looking into that over the course of the next 5 years. But I think we're gonna find out it's more than just macronutrients, it's more than just calories, but some of the aspects of weight loss are really found in our relationship with all the bacteria that lives in our digestive tract. Okay, so digest that one for a moment. Okay, so anyways, first place to start for most people if you're looking to lose weight and lose fat is to incorporate in a diet that is full of these non-starchy, high-fiber vegetables, fruits, and things of that nature.
All right, so here's the final fat loss myth. When it comes to fat loss, exercise and diet are equally important. Before you answer this is the last fat loss myth. I really want you to get this question right. If you get it wrong, it is 200 more squats. The answer is actually false. And here's why. I'm gonna look at this more from a behavioral standpoint, from the fact that you can very easily out-eat how many calories you can burn in a given day. For example, one Snickers bar is equal to running a whole mile. Every bite you take from that Snickers bar, you gotta run a quarter mile to burn off that many calories. That's just a Snickers bar. Imagine having a whole carton of ice cream, how many miles you'd have to run. You cannot outrun a bad diet. I mean, you can, but you'd have to work really, really hard to do that. So as a fitness professional, I am definitely not telling you exercise is not important. What I am telling you is that the prerequisite for fat loss is having a good foundation, a good diet. Then, if you want to upgrade that, if you want the cheat code to fat loss, that's when you add in exercise. But it all starts from a good foundation. So, how many squats did you do? I hope it wasn't 350.
Also, a quick summary to what we just talked about. Number one, all calories are not created equal. So those calories that are in that unrefined, low sugar category, those are the calories we're gonna want you to intake versus the highly refined ones.
All cardio is not equal. Steady state and HIIT. HIIT is gonna be the more effective, more bang for your buck. You can do a whole lot less and get a whole lot more fat loss if you pick that high intensity interval training.
Ketogenic diets are not the first place to start when you're looking for fat loss.
Yeah, and the last one, we don't care if you exercise anymore. You could probably just stop. No, I'm totally not saying that. The most important thing to get dialed in is that diet. It is the foundation, it is the prerequisite. Everything else happens after that. Get your diet dialed in, exercise is the cheat code.
So what was the answer to the talking about cheat codes and things, what was the answer to the pop quiz?
Pop quiz.
Where does the fat go?
I'm gonna get nerdy here, ready for this. So pop quiz, the question was, where does fat go when you lose it? You exhale it. Now, that doesn't mean you can just hyperventilate and burn more fat, but that's actually the way we test to see when you're doing a VO2 max test and we're measuring your RER, which is a measurement of how many calories you're burning from carbohydrates versus fat. We use that to determine how much fat we're burning. Fat comes out as carbon dioxide. When you break down fat, it is a carbon chain, and when you break down fat in your body, the sequence
you're getting too nerdy. That's way too nerdy.
Beta oxidation.
Nerd alert. Okay, so anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Please like this video. Please share it if you think it might help one of your friends or family members.
Thanks and have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.